He said this was a short-term plan that the president had, which was for 10 years, President Obama, the former president, but he has no plan.
I think that's becoming increasingly clear that he really doesn't have any plan at all. We also know that this is a president that tends to sort of go with the last person he spoke to. This is an administration that is actually staffed with some pretty aggressive Iran hawks. Certainly John Bolton, Mike Pompeo as well. There are a lot of people that have in public talked about things like regime change.
And now he's talking about Rand Paul.
Right, so it's the flavor of the month. The problem is that is not a recipe for steady, productive diplomatic talks. And the problem is that, for all these sort of near misses and insanity we're seeing out of the White House, the moment in which you pay the price for that is in crisis moments. And this is starting to look like it might be a genuine moment of crisis.
All right, all of you stand by for me. We have a lot more to talk about.
But today doesn't sound like he's certainly going to try. We're hearing from a lot of his base that feel it's okay. I mean, just a couple of days ago, after the tweet, when the president was doing his manufacturing event, you heard the crowd clap and cheer for him, talking about, they should go back to their home countries. I mean, there is a certain sector in his base that feels this is okay, but this is America for all people. The president is going to go with the wind, and he listened to his wife for a minute. But now he's going with his base and what they feel. He's going by the polls.
Yeah, he's doubling down. Just yesterday, he said he was trying to start talking over the chant, though we counted 13 seconds where he just let the chant continue. Let me switch to Rick Santorum, because yesterday the president said he wasn't happy with that chant. Listen to what he's saying now.
Those people in North Carolina, that stadium was packed. It was a record crowd. And I could have filled it 10 times, as you know. Those are incredible people. Those are incredible patriots.
He defended them again today, later this afternoon. So let me ask you, do you see these people behind the chants as U.S. patriots?
I think that was over the top. I think the president was right yesterday in saying that he doesn't agree with that sentiment. I think what you're hearing from people is that there is a push. The Democratic Party has gone so far to the left and embracing socialism, values that most Americans don't embrace, and people are responding to that.
But why not just focus on that? Because there's plenty to focus on there. And if you disagree on policy, have at it. Why go after people because of their skin color, which it appears that he is, or because of the country they came from?
I disagree. I fundamentally disagree that the president's going after them because of their skin color. They're going after them because of the comments that they've made and the positions they hold. I mean, look. These are folks who are out there who are trying to seek attention. These are not people who just sort of made quiet comments. These are folks who have sought to get the spotlight on them for some of these, I think, very much out of the mainstream beliefs, as the president focused on today.
Well,
a lot of the anti-Semitic beliefs of some of these people.
What's the excuse for Barack Obama then?
I got something to say. Now during the elections, the so-called running for this office, it seems to me that Bernie Sanders had almost the win. But somehow somebody paid him off to stop. And all these other white people that was running for the office fell off somehow because Bernie Sanders was kicking their butts. And all the white people had left was Donald Trump. All these people had left was Donald Trump, so they went with him because he was the white. They went with him because that was the only person that basically fit the American dream. That's the only reason why he won. Well, that's not the only reason why he won. He won because of the Russian hacks that came into there, but they don't want to talk about that. Yeah, it was gonna be Bernie Sanders. He was close. He was close. Somebody paid him off to get out of there. But somehow, that was all they had left was Trump, so they chose him. They hated the fact that the Democrats was about to win this over, and then Trump ended up, winning because of his racist chants. We talking about racist chants. He was saying some racist chants that got him elected. A lot of people say he ain't racist, but that's how he won the election. Am I right or am I right?
I
or because of the
disagree with
country they
that.
may came from.
I disagree. I fundamentally disagree.
Rick, fix your eye. You look like a walking stroke. Yeah, it's racist. It's racist. Oh, fix your face.
What's the excuse for Barack Obama when he said that Barack Obama being allegedly born in Kenya was the reasoning for his political platform? That's how he became who he is now. What was the excuse then? Barack Obama was not speaking ill of anyone. He was not saying anything. He wasn't looking for attention. He was just trying to be president of the United States, and he was considered illegitimate. Why? Because he was a black man whose father was from Kenya.
All I can say is that Donald Trump has been in the public eye for 30 or 40 years, and it's only been in the last few years that all of a sudden Donald Trump's a racist.
No, well, Keith,
I don't know where that all
Keith, no. Let's go back to the Central Park Five. The Central Park Five and his housing applications where he put a C on. All of a sudden, no, there's a little bit of a
All
history.
I know is the Democrats embraced Donald Trump for a long time and didn't have any problems with it.
Can I just jump in on what the issue at hand is and what transpired this week, Keith? Because in my mind, when I know that somebody could be sued if they said to one of their colleagues at work, go back to the country they came from, it's hard to interpret that as anything other than racist.
It is a racist remark, and even Republicans have condemned this remark this week. I'm surprised, not actually surprised that Rick Santorum won't do it, but it's clearly
I condemn the remark. I don't think it's racist.
Well, it's clearly racist, and a good thing that you, Rick, don't get to decide what's
You know
racist.
better than that, Rick.
And so,
nor do you.
well, I can tell you this as an
We all have
African
our
American.
opinion.
As an
I do know
African
better
American,
than that,
I can
'cause
speak.
it's
I can
a
speak with
racist statement.
much more authority about this
I
issue.
think
than
everybody
you can.
has the
But let
right
me
to
just
speak on these issues.
Let me just speak about this since you've already had your
Rick, it sounds mighty racist to me.
filibuster
The
about
Republicans
this.
are trying to
Let
play
me
this
just say
down.
this.
And you know this. This is your talking point.
Wait, let Keith
This
finish.
week started on Sunday with Donald Trump sending out racist tweets telling people to go back home to Africa or to their home countries. Then on Wednesday, he goes to North Carolina. He leads the crowd basically in a chant telling these women to go home, to send them back. Then the following day, he says he tried to stop it, which was clearly a lie. And then today, he says that the people who were chanting were incredible patriots. The problem is this president does not speak with moral clarity on racial issues. We saw this with Charlottesville when he said there were very fine people on both sides. We saw this when David Duke endorsed him, and he claimed he didn't know who David Duke was, and then he admitted that he didn't know who David Duke was. We saw this even going back to Pat Buchanan, because Trump in the past had said that Pat Buchanan was a Hitler lover, but then in the campaign he decided, oh, he loves Pat Buchanan. This guy has no ability to speak with moral
One
clarity
ear and out the
on
other.
racial issues, and that's a problem because the president.
That's
has the
right.
ability
One ear and out
to
the other. I'm
speak
not hearing this
with
black guy.
firmness of
Go
certain
Trump.
things when it comes to
Hallelujah, bring the
denouncing
lie.
bigotry.